Real talk. No bull. Real talk. We're putting it all on the table. You know what to do.
Welcome everyone to episode 49.
49.
Living life on the line. One day at a time.
That was better.
That's
I like that one.
That's all right. We'll get that all right. Tonight, we touched on it briefly last week. We have a special guest in the studio, Todd Maguire. Welcome, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah, thanks.
Anytime, mate. Thank you very much.
Nah, awesome. So tonight we're going to talk about your book, Donny, an undercover cop with a death wish.
It's the one.
Sounds pretty exciting, mate.
Catchy.
Yeah, mate. Sounds more than what it is, really. But
Yeah.
We're about to find out.
Well, we're about to find out. So
mate.
we're gonna delve into that. We're gonna sort of get you to talk about the reason maybe why you wrote the book, sort of start, middle, sort of ending. We don't want to give too much away, obviously, because we want people to go out and read the book, buy the book. And we are very lucky and really grateful that you've kindly given us this copy to share amongst ourselves and read, and we will all do that. And
100%.
no, you're not allowed to share it. You've got to buy
Oh,
it.
yeah. Hard copy too.
Yeah, that's right. But no, awesome, man. We're really looking forward to this one. And to be just a little bit honest, mate, like I come into this one tonight feeling a bit nervous.
I came in really excited.
And I don't often feel nervous.
Yeah, you should.
But
No.
no, it was more like these are the kind of podcasts I want to be doing.
Yeah.
You know, and so to me it was kind of like, because I love this shit, man. I watch heaps of this stuff on TV. Like me and my daughter, we watch Cops together. She's only 10 years old. You know, like I'm a diehard fan. Like I love it all. You know, my granddad was a sergeant in the police force, and he looked after Mount Eden Prison and in Auckland City there for a little bit, and managed a whole bunch of other police stations and stuff. So I like all this sort of stuff.
Do you sit there with your daughter going, "They're cops, they're cops"?
Oh, man.
Please tell me you sing along to it.
Man, she could bust out the intro for you, man.
Oh, I can't.
You ask her, man. She'll bust it out for
I
you.
can't do that. But no, today I was thinking of all these questions. I'm like, oh, am I going to be able to ask this, or can we talk about that? And I'm like, oh, I hope he says this, or I'm pretty excited.
But no, awesome, man, awesome. So we're going to break the ice with everybody's favourite segment. It's just how we kick off our potty, and it is.
What ripped your undies?
All right.
Lucky I'm wearing them.
That's right. Well, it's a little Kiwiism that we sort of turned into a Siggy there. So, yeah. So I'm gonna get the ball rolling, anyways.
Yeah, I'll go last because I'm still thinking of.
Okay. All right. So, yesterday, right, I've been looking for a bike on Marketplace for my daughter. Okay, I'm looking for a medium mountain bike, sort of, you know, fairly okay setup. I don't want any rusty bits on it, so I'm quite particular. I'm an ex-bike mechanic, so yeah, I'm looking for a particular type of bike. I'm looking for a bargain, and I found one local to me, just down the road. And so I messaged the guy. I said, "Hey man, can I come around this afternoon and check out the bike and you know, let my daughter sit on it, have a ride?" And he said, "Yeah, yep, sweet as." So we bantered back and forth for a little bit on working out the time, and it was about 10 minutes before I was going to leave home to go check out this bike just down the road. And he messaged me. He says, "Hey man, I've just gone to pick up my son. He slipped over. Looks like he might have broken his arm. I've got to take him to the hospital." I said, "Yeah, okay, man, no worries. Cheers, John." And then today, like I kind of was expecting him to message me back saying, "Oh, yeah, sweet as, like maybe this afternoon, come check it out if you want." And then it just came up as a notification in our chat, bike sold.
Oh, piece of shit.
I was like,
Give him a spray.
oh,
Give him a spray.
man.
oh man, I was dirty.
John, that's not cool.
And so I just messaged back saying, "Oh, okay, I see," and just left it at that.
Yeah.
And because I sell a lot of stuff on Marketplace, and I'm quite a diligent seller. I also buy a few bits and bobs off Marketplace, and so I'm really feel like if somebody messages me, then I'll go through the process with them until they say, "Oh, yes" or "no."
100%.
And then it's like on to the next person who's messaged and stuff. So I never do the dirty on anybody who messages in first. And so I just thought, oh, that was.
Yeah.
I haven't had one of those for a little while.
Yeah,
and
that's not cool.
And so I thought, yeah, that's what's ripped my undies this week.
It's like that's your word.
Yeah. Oh
You know,
man.
there's been plenty of times people are like, oh, I'll pay you more. I said, nah, this person got in first.
and then it made me even wonder if his son did break his arm.
Oh.
And then if he was
If
just
he
Fair
hadn't,
chances.
yeah,
if he hasn't, well,
yeah, I know karma's coming your way, mate.
Asking for proof.
yeah, yeah,
absolutely.
the
I want to
proof.
sign his cars.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was mine, mate. That was mine this week. Todd, what do you got, mate?
Mine is, it happened to me the other day, and that's what made me think about it.
Yeah.
Is and it was something that always happened as a cop. You know, you're talking to someone and you go, and you're looking at him. There's only one bloke there, and you go, "Hey, mate, what's your name?" And he goes, "Who, me?" I go, "Who the fuck else is there, mate? There's no one next to you."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
man.
shit's ya.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like, come on, man. Yeah.
Especially if you straight in the eyes and you're looking,
Yeah.
and you even go, hey, how are you? What's your name?
Yeah, that's right.
It's like,
Well, people
Me?
are stalling to answer. That's what they're doing. But
Yeah.
you know what they're doing. But you
Yeah.
go, "Well, mate, who else am I fucking talking to?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
no one next to you."
No, the other cracky.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. That's right.
I've got one, but it's not funny.
Try us. Doesn't matter.
Instagram.
Okay.
They rip my undies.
Yep.
We can't say certain words. Well, we do anyway, but like, suicide and all that shit,
Yeah.
But yet now I can see silhouettes of naked women. And
yeah.
sometimes you can see it all.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, how does that get get through? But yet we can't talk about something serious.
100%.
And it's like, oh, you can't say that word.
Yeah. You got to sugarcoat it.
You got to sugarcoat it, but don't worry about that naked. What do you call them? Thoughts.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what that meant the other day. Do you know what that means?
Never heard of
What
it.
is it?
That hoe over
That
there.
hoe over there. And look, I'm not saying that about them, but I'm just trying to be funny here,
Oh,
mate.
they are
They're-
hoes. They are hoes, man.
Uh,
They're
go
holding
for
themselves
it.
out.
They're
Yeah.
showing
Okay.
themselves online. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, well, it's true. Oh my God.
And all they're
I'm just
doing
gonna
is
shut up.
they're trying to it's marketing for their OnlyFans and shit.
So maybe I should wear like a see-through dress and we'll get some views.
But we'll get cancelled.
Yeah, probably. No,
Okay, don't worry about it. All right, I'll put it on the burner.
I'd be on the wrong podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
right, that's
It'd be like that scene where across the legs. What's that?
Sharon Stone.
Sharon Stone. Yeah.
Basic Instinct. Yeah.
That's the one. Most paused movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't seen it,
I
but
haven't seen it either.
I just watch normal porn.
And I just want to make mention of your
I knew it.
Your little cup here, mate. Your little Barbie cup. She's looking good there, Barbie.
Yeah. Well,
Quite suits you there, mate. Lovely.
Well, because I drink like the the coffee out of I don't even know how to say it. The pot that you boil it on and stuff like that. That's the only way I drink coffee now. And I don't like drinking them out of a big mug because it doesn't feel like there's a lot in there. So I've got a medium. I'm sure that came with some kind of Easter egg.
Yeah,
for
maybe.
my daughter.
Yeah, probably.
But hey, just quickly, I want to give a shout out.
Okay. Go.
Someone's birthday.
Oh.
And he tried to help us out a lot with the recovering some footage. It's Mr. Mo's birthday, Liz's husband.
Oh, Rogue Liz.
Yep, Rogue Liz. Yep, Mo, happy birthday, buddy.
Yep. Happy
I hope
birthday,
you have a good one, and thank you for trying to recover the footage.
mate. For us.
It's gone.
All right. Oh, well, let's crack
Let's
in,
do it.
I hope that doesn't happen today.
No. No, redundancy.
If it
now,
fucking
mate.
does, mate, I'm getting a witch doctor in here. I am getting a fucking witch doctor in here. Or at least we'll have your face.
Yeah, good.
That's
good.
right. That's right. That's all we need.
That's all we need.
Yeah.
We're not the stars.
Oh,
you
I'm
are.
happy now. Yeah.
Everybody's seen our mug 100 times.
Oh yeah, all the twitches.
All right. So, what I thought I'd do is I just want to read the prologue. So this is just the start of the book. This is after the author's notes.
Yep.
And this is just a little setting the tone, I guess, for what the book is, right? It's not long. It's just a little page and 2/4. 2/4, page and a half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick math.
Quick
It's
math.
got big writing too.
That's right. That's right. I liked it.
But I
liked
did
it.
look through I did look at the pictures. Like you
you-
asked. You said at least look at the pictures. I'm like, okay.
You would have looked at the pictures.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right, so guys. So I'm just going to start with the prologue, and then we'll let Todd get into it. Okay. Just pull the trigger, Donny silently pleaded to himself. Make it quick. His stomach twisted as the shotgun barrel pointed straight at his noggin. What a bloody nightmare this had turned into. But fate, that cruel bastard, wasn't having a bar of it. They never found his hidden wire, and instead of the heroic death he desperately sought, more accolades were heaped upon him. The recognition turned his insides like a dodgy curry, because deep down, Donny knew he had failed in his one true mission. His desire for a noble exit was continually disrupted by his own skill and tenacity, or maybe just dumb luck. It was like flipping the script on the classic suicide by cop scenario. Here was Donny, a cop, trying to provoke a criminal into finishing the job he couldn't bring himself to do. What a plot twist. Still, he persisted, sinking deeper into the criminal world, openly courting death with reckless abandon, hoping it would finally take him, even as it slipped through his fingers. The never-ending search for his shattered sanity drove him into places darker than he'd ever imagined. One night he found himself in an outlaw bikie club, surrounded by 10 enormous bikies, all glaring at him like he had just insulted their mothers. They accused him of being a cop or a narc, and for the first time, Donny snapped. "You're right, I'm a cop," he spat at them, channeling his inner tough guy. Now do your end and kill me already, you cowards." But to his utter horror and frustration, they simply laughed. "Yeah, good one, idiot. You're not even worth the bullets." They slapped each other's backs, howling like they had told the joke of the year. Then they let him walk away untouched. Talk about a bad punchline. It seemed Donny was doomed never to get the release he craved. No matter how far he strayed from the light, the cycle kept spinning, his soul sinking deeper into a mire of violence and depravity. Still chasing the elusive end that refused to claim him. Try as he might to let go, oblivion always slipped its leash. He was a dead man walking. The only question was, when would the Reaper come?
Well read. I like it.
Mate, if that doesn't get you hooked,
I reckon, mate.
Jeez.
Oh, mate. After the author's notes and I read that, I was like, oh, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. So,
wow.
It's a true story. Everything's true.
Yeah. So in the author's notes, you did say it's a true story based on your recollection of your memory,
Yeah.
based around it, because obviously somebody's interpretation of that time, if they were with you, might have been
I just expected someone to come back and say,
a little bit.
"Oh, I don't
different.
remember it that way." And so,
Yeah.
well, that's exactly how I remember it.
That's right. That's right.
I referred to a lot of my, diaries and recordings.
Yeah.
A lot of it, is almost word for word.
A little bit of cross checking.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had to try and spark the old memory going. It is.
Well, if you're going to put things out there, you got to make sure that they're right, eh?
Yeah.
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 Oh man, I'm a bit.
Yeah. So
That was really good.
so take us back. Where'd you grow up? You grew up in Brisbane, yeah?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm a Northside boy.
Yep.
Yeah, I grew up in Arana Hills and Ferny Grove,
Okay.
all around the Hills District, and I spent a lot of my youth riding my push bike around the hills, and probably kept me fit.
Calves of steel.
Yeah. So I had my little, the silver mongoose with the red tyres.
Yeah.
I used to love that.
Nice.
Yeah, find where all the jumps were and all that sort of shit, and
That's it.
you'd just be riding that from sun up to sundown every day. No helmet, no phone, nothing. You just had a great time. Unless you went into someone else's area and you got bashed. And that was
Yeah.
part of it,
Yeah,
But
that's
you know,
right.
That's how you learn.
if you could sneak something in and have the last laugh, you're happy days.
That's it.
But grew up around there. Went to school on the north side at Padua College at Kedron, and played footy for brothers, and had a great time. Yeah, it was pretty good. I had a really good upbringing. Mum and dad, stayed together for 55 years. I had an older brother, younger sister. What I noticed in the cops that I spent for 27 years is that there was a lot of families had done it tough. Really dysfunction, and some people were born into a really bad lifestyle.
Yeah,
And you can see, how they end up the way they do because of it.
that's right.
I was the other way around. We weren't rich or anything like that. Mum and dad were really hard workers, but they really looked after us kids and gave everything we got. And for something later in life to turn everything off on its head, it really sort of knocked me for six. And, you know, having and that's sort of what I wanted to talk about was, you know, you can come from a fairly easy background and whatever, and your life still can get turned upside down, and you still got to learn how to deal with it.
That's right.
Yeah. Other people are just born into it, and they've got continual setbacks.
Yeah.
They're probably a little bit more resilient, but yeah.
Doesn't discriminate, does it?
No, it doesn't.
No,
No.
and that's it, eh? And that's it. So, what made you get into the police force?
Mate, I have no idea. I still don't know to this day.
Yeah.
I still shake my head and go, what the fuck was I doing? I finished school, you know, in 1989, and I didn't join the cops until 96. So it wasn't something that I wanted to do. I'd never thought about it. No one in my family had ever done it. I was the first one, and I'm hoping it's the last. And I was working in nightclubs, working the bars, ended up going up to, you know, the islands and work on Dunk Island, being a cocktail barman, went up to Port Douglas, and, you know, I was just living the life and just having fun,
Yeah.
basically, and being a young hooligan, really. And it wasn't until I was just having a beer with a mate who was a cop, and I'd had a few injuries through footy. And it meant that I had a year off because I had my eye socket smashed and my eye lacerated, which meant that I had a double out of that eye. So the doctor said, "Oh, you're never going to play again." And I was, "No, I'll go up the islands for a year and I'll come back." And I worked out, you know, I could still play. And I saw double out of the peripheral out of that eye, which meant that if the ball came to me, I worked out it was the bottom ball coming to me, not the top ball. So
Yeah.
I worked that out. And then if I dropped it, I'd just blame my eye. So
Oh, easy. Easy.
I was that
Easy
goddamn
out.
eye again.
Stop making fun of me.
Yeah.
So I was working in hotels, you know, being night shifts and all that sort of stuff. I started playing really good footy. I was on the Gold Coast playing A grade down there, and talking to this mate, and he goes, "Mate, why don't you join the cops? You know, we play footy, we do this. You know, you've heard a couple of the stories. You know, we have a bit of fun. You know, all that sort of shit." I went, "No, I don't like cops. I never thought about it, never will." And you know, we had 1 schooner, 2 schooner, 3 schooner. On about the 5th, I said, "You're seriously going to have to shut up. Like, stop it." He goes, "No, I'm not going to stop until you say yes." I said, "Okay, well, I'll say yes. I will apply once, and if I don't get in, I won't apply again." I applied. I got in.
Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
But it sort of got to the stage where I went, you know, I got a little bit excited about it. I don't know. It was something that I thought, you know, maybe it's time to grow up. You know, I was 23, 24. Time to grow up. Yeah, maybe I can't keep working on islands all my life. I probably should have, but once I joined, I ended up absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. You know, the academy just really threw me into line because I was a bit of a not a no-paper, but I didn't know where I was going. I was a bit lost, you know.
Not a lot of ambition or just
Yeah, not really. Like I just still hadn't found what I was looking for, you know, and I was just, you know, just floating along, you know. And this sort of gave some sort of structure, and it was all the people that you were with. You know, you met some really, really good people. And I thought, yeah, this is pretty cool. I like it. Yeah. So, it was something that once I joined, I just went, yeah, I'm in. And I was 100% in, fully in.
Yeah.
Did my academy, and that was just like, it was pretty different. Real fitness orientated, which I loved.
Yep.
Playing footy and shit. But, you know, the marching and, you know, all the regimented sort of quasi-army type stuff.
yeah.
I was struggling with that, you know, just your typical, you know, standing to attention and the drill sergeant, you know, checking the polished shoes and ironed everything and just screaming in your face and all that sort of stuff. And,
I didn't know that's what happened at the academies and
I don't know
like
if they do
the police.
anymore, but yeah, they definitely did that.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. How did you iron that shirt? With a waffle iron? I can't see my face in your shoes.
Oh,
all
jeez.
that sort of shit. Yeah, so
Far out.
that was good for me. Yeah, I needed it.
Did you ever just like sort of chuckle a little bit?
Oh, you'd be.
Yeah, I was gonna
you'd-
say, there'd be
you'd
no way.
You'd be
You-
dead, but like inside, like on the
Oh,
inside,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
just not on the outside.
Yeah,
Shut
but they were
up.
actually pretty convincing, and they did scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because not only that, like if you did stuff up, it would either be, you're going to do 400s on the minute, 20 of them or something like that, and just they'd smash you. Or there was like a Bill Turner, who was the massive old Scottish fellow that could wrestle, and you go, okay, you got 3 minutes with Bill Turner. Like he went to the Commonwealth Games for
Oh,
wow.
and he could actually from his his stubble, he could make someone's face like bleed.
Wow.
Holy shit.
And like he would just rub his face on you, and
man.
he'd just have you knots. It was just like, I'm
Sandpaper.
never going to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine that.
Yeah.
he was a very skilled and just very big and just very good at what he did. And you go, I'm not doing that. No.
Yeah.
So you just never wanted to stick your neck out.
Yep.
You wanted to be the grey man and just stay under the radar.
Yep.
That was it.
Just do what you're told. Do it
Fly,
well.
fly low.
Yeah.
Fly low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
And a few times I didn't do that, but I learnt very quickly.
Yeah.
But afterwards, I'd come. So I'd moved down to the Gold Coast. Remember I was saying before, I was working at the Heights Sanctuary Cove, playing footy, joined the Cops, and then they sent me straight back down the Cops,
Okay.
down the coast in the Cops. And I thought it was pretty good. Broadbeach was my station, and I lived with a few other different people, and then the Kira Barracks come up. So there was like 10 blokes living in a unit block that the police owned, and it was free rent. And it was like 100 metres to the beach, 100 metres to the Kira Hotel, and
Yeah, not bad.
it was just fucking good times.
Perks of the job.
Just
Yeah.
good times. We're always playing cricket in the driveway, and the rule was if a door was open, that's free reign. You go in, drink beers, play fucking whatever, and
Yeah.
but if the door's closed, it means you're obviously sleeping from
Yeah.
shift work and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, just good camaraderie. It was just bloody awesome. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, good.
So I really enjoyed it, and then stupidly, not stupidly, I met this bird at Broadbeach at the casino one night, and I was smitten. I really took to her. What was I, about 25 by then? She was 30 or thereabouts. She was a Kiwi lass from Christchurch,
Yeah, the old chit-chit.
and she blew me socks off. It was like, who the hell is that? And my mate sort of went, oh, mate, she's just got out of a marriage. She's got a kid. She's on the rebound, and I thought, well, that's blood in the water, mate. That's free grain, isn't it?
That's just boosted up your chances.
And and she's seriously like almost a 10 out of 10, and I'm going, well, I'm no Brad Pitt, but I'm no armpit either. But fucking. But I thought,
I love that one.
I'll give it a shot.
Oh, that's a ripper.
I'll give it a shot. You just never know, do you?
Yeah.
So yeah, I went over and asked for a dance and had a dance and stood on her toes 25 times and made a real dick of myself, and
Remember, Joe?
I think that's how it worked. Yeah. So
Yeah.
being new to the uniform and all that sort of bullshit, you took advantage of it. So I thought I'll give it my best shot. She worked at Bond Uni, so every week I'd find an excuse to go to Bond Uni and just go past and see how she is and make sure that she saw the uniform.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and I think after about the 30th time she felt sorry for me, and she finally said yes to go out, and then as they say, the rest is history. Within 3 or 4 months, I've moved into a house.
Yeah.
She was living out at Mudgeerbar on a beautiful, semi-rural property up on the hill, and she sort of had her 4-year-old, with that arrangement with the dad and all that sort of stuff, and I went from a bachelor to picking up Lego at night, and it was a bit of a baptism of fire, but I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I really took to it, and But yeah, just for a 25-year-old, I just wasn't ready for it. I'd lived too much of a bachelor life for many years, and it was one of those things where you knew you had to do it, but you just didn't know how, and you didn't know, you weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
But you're enjoying what you're doing. But anyway, you know, it got to, I don't know if you remember Y2K, the millennial bug.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
so basically what had happened was, you know, it was something that obviously, you know, we get the reset every 10 or 20 years. We only just went through one recently, and this one was probably no different.
Mm.
And, you know, all of the computers and all the time clocks were going to be set back, which means that it was the end of the world and all this, you know,
Yeah.
there was this feverish thing
Yeah.
of,
Yeah, I remember it. I was only 16, but I remember it well.
yeah. So my job that night being, you know, I was only 2.5 years into the police. My job was to man the Broadbeach Mall, and it was chockers, absolutely chockers.
Yeah, I bet.
And I've never heard the sort of noise that I've heard that night, because everyone thought it was the end of the world, and the noise that were coming from the high rises it was just deafening. And I've worked many, many New Year's Eve since, and I have not heard anything like it. So anyway, I started work at 10 o'clock, but prior to that, the blokes who were working, all the cops, and we had a group that were, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend type thing. All the blokes had to go to work, and all the girls end up going to a nightclub, Melba's. Everyone knows Melba's, I think. And so we went to dinner first, and we said, oh, we're going to have dinner, and then we'll drop you into town, and then we'll go to work. And while we're having dinner, you know, I had the old Nokia 6110, and
Bricks.
yeah, and you had to do the star and enter to unlock it or lock it. And I was just sitting there like that, exactly like this, and I could hear this dip, 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 what type thing, and I'm going, oh, I mustn't have locked it, so I better get it out. So I got it out, and I looked at it and I went, oh, it says 666, and I went, have a look at this, everyone. I've just got a message from the devil. It is the end of the world tomorrow, okay? Okay, I've just got a message. And everyone laughed, you know, fucking boom, boom, boom. And so anyway, what I found out later when I started work is that, you know, my girlfriend Karen, she'd gone out, and it was the first time she'd ever done it, and she had half an ecstasy tab. And, you know, I was a bit disappointed about that, because I was very anti-drugs then, you know, and I was, you know, I'm a police officer and all that sort of bullshit, you know. But I was more concerned about her, you know, making sure that she was okay. So I kept on, you know, texting her every 30 minutes. She was like, having a great night, it's really good, really good. All of these things, yeah. There was no negativity, there was no fights, there was no bang, nothing. So I ended up picking her up at 5:30 in the morning, as I finished a little bit earlier, and I dropped her and her friend home. I dropped a friend home, and then me and her went home, and, you know, we sort of sat and had a bit of brekkie first, and, you know, and I had to work at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was like a quick shift. So you sort of want to try and get some sleep. So we actually go to sleep, and I remember waking up only about an hour or two later, and I could hear the front door, and I sort of got up, and Karen's ex-husband had just dropped the son over, the 4-year-old son. I sort of got up and I said, oh, I didn't know we were having Clark today. And she goes, yeah, I know, I totally forgot. I was supposed to pick him up this morning. I feel so bad. And like, she was upset, she was crying, I've been a bad mum. And I'm like, you haven't been a bad mum, you know, like, it's not the end of the world. Look, he brought her over, everything's fine. Like, you're just tired, you're emotional, you know. And obviously, when I think about it now, she was obviously coming down from something as well. So I said, how about we put a movie on for Clark? Because we knew that when he did that, you know, he just watched it and didn't even move for 2.5 hours. So at least you get some sleep and everything's going to be fine. So, yep, we went. She laid in next to me. This would have been like 10 o'clock or so by now, 10 a.m. So I'm sort of going, shit, I've got to get this. I need some sleep soon, man. I'm going to work in, you know, 6 hours or whatever. And anyway, I woke up it was just after 1:30, listening to Clark sort of walking around our bedroom going, "Mummy, where are you? Mummy, where are you?" And I sort of woke up and I said, hey, what's going on, Clark? I don't know where Mummy is. And I sort of rolled over and went, "Oh, no, she's not there." "Oh, okay." I said, "Oh," and I'm like, my eyes are hanging out. I've only had only an hour and a half sleep or so. And so I picked him up and I said, "Oh, let's go and have a look for him, look for her." Walking around each room, having a bit of a joke, "Is she in here?" "Boo, no, no, no." All that sort of stuff. And I said, "Oh, no, she's not upstairs." And we had our laundry downstairs and you had to go outside, down the back steps and then back in. And so I said, "Let's go down. She might be doing some laundry." She's always doing our laundry and folding all of our clothes and everything. And as we walked down, opened the thingo, and she'd hung herself, and she'd used a white electrical cord and put it through the rafters, and there she was, and the shock was just amazing. Yeah. The first thing I did was I threw Clark out as quick as I could. I didn't want him to see it, and then I stood there, and my legs were just dead. It felt like, as I said, I'd played a lot of footy. I don't think I've ever been hit harder in my life. It felt physical. It felt like something had hit me so hard that it just took my fucking breath away. Yeah. And I just started yelling, screaming, crying, everything. "What have you done? Why? Why?" And and that's why I say a lot of, it's my memory of what happened back then, because what I thought that happened that day, I've only just recently found out that other things happened, and I don't remember. But when you're in that state, you don't remember. Like one of my good mates, it wasn't until I wrote the book, he goes, "You rang me, do you remember that?" I went, "No, not at all. I thought I'd rung this person."
Oh.
So, yeah. He goes, "Yeah, you rang me." He goes, "And you're looking up at her going, what the fuck do I do?" And I'm going, "Man, I don't remember that." So when I don't remember, like, that's my memory.
Yeah.
That's not exactly how it happened, because I didn't remember that happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually I'm picking her up and I didn't know what to do with her. I'm going, what do I do now? I'm trying to get it from around her neck, but
Fuck.
the electrical cord, it's stuck and it gets put together, and I needed another hand. It just wasn't working. So eventually having to put her down. And I still remember when I put it down, I thought to myself, shit, did that just kill her? Those sort of things that went through your head. I ran upstairs, got a kitchen knife, came back down, cut it down, took it around it, and then, and I sort of don't know if it was 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour 10. I don't know. I don't know how long I did CPR for. I honestly don't know. Everything was just a blur to me. And, it was a pretty ugly scene. And I seriously knew that she was dead, like her neck was not good and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't believe it.
No, you don't want to.
And I kept on breathing in and looking at her chest. And I thought that I'd got her back. But then I realised it was just my air coming back. All these sort of things. And then there must have been a thought, when I went up, I've got to go and find Clark. I hope he's okay outside. So I went outside and picked him up, and he's just standing there. And I was pretty happy. So I went, well, I'm not going back in. I know she's gone. So I went back upstairs, out to the front, rang the police, Triple O, whatever, and the people who I was supposed to work with that afternoon, all of my colleagues are the ones that had to come out and do it. And that was pretty awful, having your work come to your house for the one of the worst days of your life is pretty shit too.
Yeah.
I felt pretty on top of everything else. I didn't want them to come, but there was no other choice.
That's right. Because you were part of that.
Yeah.
Like if somebody from the public had called in, then that's what you would be
Yeah,
doing too.
yeah. And before you knew it, it was like a movie set. There was that many cops, that many ambos, that many bloody friends and family turn up, and man, it just got bigger than Ben Hur. And yeah, luckily, I'd call my parents, and they lived in Brisbane, and drove down and picked me up, and eventually came. We drove home, and yeah, everything was a bit of a blur after that. But But that's exactly the start of, I say that, my life before 2000 was happy-go-lucky. It was fun, a lot of positivity. And then as soon as that happened, it just knocked everything on my head.
So this was January 1st, 2000.
January the 1st, 2000, yeah.
Wow.
Which, over the years I've tried to analyse whether that was a significant number or date or whatever, but I can't find anything from it. And, I still don't know why she did it. There was no note, apart from her saying she was a bad mum, which to me that's not enough. That would convince me to think that, because a lot of people do think that. Yeah. And I suppose over the years I've spent countless times trying to work out why, and that's what kills you, the why thing. Not only why did you do it, once you sort of get over the why, you go, why did it happen to me? Why is this payback? Is it something that I did wrong? Is it karma? Am I supposed to learn? Is it for someone, something that you broke up with your year 9 girlfriend and you didn't do the right thing? Like, is this payback or whatever?
It's like you try to you say rationalize it, or you try to.
Yeah, you've got to try. I guess from my own personal experience, you've got to try and make it make sense in some kind of way.
Rationalize it. Yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense. It never does.
No, and it took me many, many years of, this is all the stuff that I, said to myself, because I pushed it down, I hid it, unless it was my close family and friends, my new workmates didn't know about it, my new friends from footy didn't know about it. Even when I'm writing this book, blokes that I've known 10, 15 years ago, I had no idea about this. I suppose it's not something that I'd normally talk about.
Yeah.
And that was my problem.
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't. Right. I hid it. I was embarrassed about it. I was embarrassed about the way I was thinking and feeling.
Well, to be fair, like being the start of 2000s, there was zero sort of advocacy for mental health.
Yeah,
Not
not only
much
that.
not a lot of awareness, or the social media platforms to promote it. And
Yeah, I know a lot of people, negative on social media, but I've actually found on particular topics, especially this, grief, trauma, suicide and everything, it's about the only place that's found all of my thoughts being normalised.
Yeah.
100%.
Where prior to that, the only thing I knew about was, encyclopedias or, clinical psychologists that were telling me textbook stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at them going, have you been through anything like me? And I just have contempt for them. I'd be like, how dare you tell me what I should be doing, and how I should be feeling out of a textbook.
That's right.
And like, I was probably lucky that, all of my friends and all of my circle hadn't been through any traumatic events, and my family hadn't been through any, which meant that my feelings and the way that I was behaving, the way that I was acting, no one could understand, because I was going on 3-day benders. I was angry at the world. I was fighting. It was just like, what's wrong with Todd? Like, he's a fucking idiot. He's been a fuckwit, all that sort of shit. It's not until you sort of know now when it's not hard to work out when someone changes their behaviour and they start acting out like that, especially if they've just experienced a suicide. What do you reckon that is?
Yeah, capital T trauma, mate.
And I guess it's vastly different too. Like, okay, like your friend has committed suicide, and you hear about it through a phone call, then actually finding somebody in that state.
Yeah, and that was traumatic in itself. But then, what then happened was, I moved back up to Brisbane. I didn't want to stay in the house, and I moved in with my sister who lived out at the Gap. And she had a similar. It was like a rumpus room garage type thing, and we made it into a bedroom. And all I had was a bed, and a TV and a bag of clothes. And like, you know, most people, by this time I'm 26, most people as they're 26 to 30 there, and as I was doing, was planning my future, you know, trying to, you know, houses and all that sort of stuff. You know, I remember just sitting on my bed and I just had it was one of those ones where you had to sort of screw in all the slats and all that sort of shit.
Oh yeah.
I didn't do it properly. I just wasn't doing anything right, you know. And I remember sitting on it and it just all fell through and I hit down on the ground and I've just gone, and I just went, I don't think things can get any worse, you know. Like that was just a metaphor of like,
Yeah.
could, yeah. And I'm sort of going, I've got nothing to live for, you know. My world has just totally been turned upside down. You know, it was looking so bright, everything was great, and now, you know, what am I doing? What am I doing? So dealing with the trauma, the grief, the unknown, no future. I didn't want to go back to work. You know, so they did give me 3 months off, which is probably good. But what had happened was, everyone had to go back to work, which is what usually happens in this situation. Everyone goes back to the normal life, and
That's right.
and you are still dealing with all of this shit that's going through your head. And what do you reckon I did? Started drinking earlier and earlier and earlier each day.
We got too much. It's like good to have the time off to be able to grieve, but then you also have too much time on your hands too.
Yep.
And then, you know, isolating.
Yeah,
Too
I was
much-
sitting down by myself.
Too much time in
I
your
was
own
just sitting on the
head
balcony and I went, oh, it's 8 o'clock. May as well have one.
and-
And it got, more and more each day. You know, I couldn't go to sleep at night. I was having, you know, all the nightmares and flashbacks, which meant that I'd try and knock myself out
Yeah.
by the time I got there. And that was a big part of it as well. It was boredom, trying to
Escape.
numb myself, escape, all that sort of, and trying to get to sleep. Yeah. So I was doing all of that sort of shit. So I didn't know what I was doing, and you know, I was just floating around. Just again, I'm fucked again. Like I thought I had my life on track, and now it's fucked again. And I ran into I'd just be a barfly. You know, I'd go to all these different fucking pubs and by myself, and I didn't want to be with anyone. Didn't want to talk to anyone. I was angry at the world. I fucking hated the world.
Yeah.
Like, why did this happen to me? All that sort of shit. And I was in this pub in the valley, Dooley's, and I was ordering a drink, and a fella next to me, I could fucking know that voice. Ended up being the same fella that talked me into joining the cops.
Oh,
But I looked at him. He's got dreadlocks. He's got fucking all these eye rings, and he's got this goatee coming down here. And I went, the fuck? I'm going, sounds like him, but fucking doesn't look like him. And he goes, hey, Donny. And I went, fuck, Mozza, how you going, mate? and I said, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, I'm undercover, man. I went, fuck, what?
just like that. You just
Yeah, he goes, oh, we're having a night off. You know, see the boys over there? You know, we're just having a bit of a debrief. We're letting the hair down, literally. And he goes, come over and I'll introduce you to a few of them. You know, I remember looking over to them going, they look like, you know, roadies for a bloody Bon Jovi cover band. They were fucking, like, they look just feral. But I went over there and, met them and listened to their stories and they said, oh, we got a course coming up in a couple of months. I went home and I went, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to become an undercover cop. I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a shit. I don't care what happens to me now. I've got no future. This is my chance to fucking just let it rip, go out with a bang, fucking who cares? You know?
kind of felt like you were already in your own head, like you're on borrowed time anyway.
Yep. I didn't really care what happened to me, yeah. So, and I look back now and, I went through like all those psychologists and stuff, and I go, geez, they must have been thorough, hey? Like, no, they knew exactly what had happened, and they still gave me the tick to go ahead, you know, but that would not happen today.
No, man.
No.
Oh,
When that happened, like through the police force, like were you offered like,
counselling.
counselling and help or?
I don't recall after it happening. No, it
Yeah.
wasn't until I started inquiring about going undercover as that.
Yeah.
It was this mandatory that I had to do that to go into it. Yeah,
Yeah.
to get the clearance.
yeah. No, there was nothing like that.
Nah.
You
Yeah.
guys-
See, like when my best mate took his life when we were 17, that was 2002. You know, we were just kids, and there was nothing. There was nothing on offer for us back then.
No, it was all put back onto your parents and and yourself, really.
And my mum didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
You know, what did I do? I turned to drugs too.
Yep.
Because that was the only way I could deal with it.
Yep.
Because you just
Numb it.
you've got to try and forget about it.
yeah,
And so
Yep.
I sympathise and empathise.
yeah,
on
yeah. I
that.
mean, and it's not a unique story that I now know.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't know that back then.
No, that's right.
I hadn't heard of anyone else going through this.
No.
I didn't know of anyone. I hadn't heard, hadn't seen any podcasts because there wasn't any.
No.
The internet didn't exist.
No.
The only way was through a psychologist who I didn't like anyway.
Yeah.
And or you go to the library and read a book, and I wasn't going to fucking do that either. So,
Well, because it was a very taboo subject. You were told not to talk about it.
Yeah.
People didn't want to talk about it.
yeah,
People didn't want to talk about
Putting it in people's heads and
Suicide.
stuff like that.
yeah.
and
But-
you know,
But the only books that I read was talking about the physiology of your brain and the amygdala and all that sort of bullshit.
Mm.
Going, I don't know anything about that crap. What's that
Yeah.
mean?
yeah,
Mm.
it's just words.
Yeah.
Just words.
And that's what I'm saying about the social media. It was amazing when it started, and I started listening, and especially over the last 5 or so years, it's the first time in 25, 26 years where I've started feeling that I'm not alone. Going, holy shit, there's so many people in this world that are feeling exactly how I have been.
Mm.
I'm not a fucking weirdo. I'm not feeling different.
No, well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Like, I've had my struggles, and it wasn't until I heard, Tony Robbins, say something, and something just clicked,
Yeah.
and then I started getting through my shit just because you resonate with something and that was on social media, like you have said, it's helped you realize that you're not alone.
Mm.
And yeah, I know it's a bit different, but I'm just agreeing with what you're saying about
No,
the
I
social
think-
media.
I think it's all
the
similar.
the social media thing, man. And like you can pick up anything on there,
Mm.
and especially when your algorithm starts being that,
Yeah.
then it goes, okay, well, this is how you're feeling, this is you, and that pumps you with that. But fuck, if it works, it works, eh?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, what you said is, this guy's come into your life at crucial moments. Your mate, when you didn't know what you were going to do with your life, and then he's like, "Oh, be a cop.
Mm.
You're a cop." And you're at it. Like every time you're at so far, it seems like when you've been at a crossroads,
Yeah. It's
he's
amazing, isn't it?
just there. I love hearing that stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Synchronicity.
in that book, there's so many sliding door moments which could have gone the other way. So many of them, but it led me to the path of what it is, and that book basically, it does explain. It explains what happened with Karen, and then I talk about all of my undercover jobs that I did, and how I sort of escaped death, and put myself in situations which were fucking stupid, and still got out of them. But then it talks about the recovery and what not to do, what to do, all that sort of stuff. And that book's just even though it's undercover work and it's suicide, it's a metaphor, and it sort of basically is trying to say that everyone's going to get full on hard times at some stage in your life. So it's harder for others, not as hard for others, but it's the same in your brain. Whatever you think it is, it is. And this is just something which, if you get something out of and you go, well, yeah, that makes sense, yeah, or I felt exactly the same, or I do feel exactly the same. It's just a story to show that you're going to go through shit in your life. Don't take the easy option out. Be resilient. Just keep going, 1 foot ahead of the other. You'll eventually get there.
Bit of a roadmap.
Yeah, and I eventually did get there. It took me a long time, but
Yeah. Take us back to the Bon Jovi moment, mate, with your mates at the bar. Like what? Like so they're having the night off
Yeah, just having a night off. Yeah.
from being undercover.
Yep. So they'd always
And they had a course. Is it a course that they?
No, that was well. Oh, there was a course coming up. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
So obviously being undercover agents, and they were all in obviously different undercover situations. So when they would have a night off and they'd come together, obviously that would have been removed from their current undercover
definitely.
situations. 'Cause
yeah, it would have been.
wouldn't want a
It would have
blow
been
cover.
just one of those, one in a lifetime sort of moments where, one might have been on the Gold Coast, one might have been up in Cairns, one might have been in Brisbane, whatever.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know. And they just all happen to be back for something.
Yeah,
And they've
okay.
gone, let's catch up.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's always about, they're talking about their work and they're learning from the others as well, or
Yeah.
what's good, what's not,
Tactics.
all that sort of bullshit. Yeah.
And maybe intertwining
Yeah.
Yeah.
because whatever criminal factions they're delving into might be intertwining
Yeah,
with each
true,
other.
true. And, and they'll probably check in on their mental health either as
Yeah.
well, just seeing how they're going and
Yeah.
all that sort of bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can go too deep.
Yeah.
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 Movies have taught me anything.
Yeah, well, that's right. So talk us into, like, you've gone through the testing, you've obviously gone through your training, and now you're
Yeah.
sort of
Well, I'll tell you about the course. It was
Yeah.
4 weeks, and it was at the academy. So, there was a bunch of us who were trying not to be cops at the police academy. That makes a lot of sense, doesn't it?
yeah.
Forget everything we taught you.
Yeah, and it was all about legislation, scenarios, all that sort of bullshit, and they'd put you into situations which would make you fail, just so so you learn from it. Put you in a really high pressure situations. For example, they'd send you into a really rough pub, and someone to go, okay, we're going to sit in the corner, and that fella there, I need you to get answers for 5 of these questions. You got 30 minutes.
Oh shit! Because I was going to ask you. I was going to say, well, if you're doing it at the academy, how do you feel that adrenaline and all that? So it was actually real life shit.
Still took you off site.
Okay.
And then you got 30 minutes to get those answers from that bloke. It's like, whew.
Yeah. Okay. That'll test you.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you got to really think outside the box.
Mm.
Always playing pool's always the answer.
Okay.
That's what got me. Yeah. So, yeah.
Well, can you give?
The questions were like, have you got a dog? What's your dog's name?
Oh, really?
What's your what job do you do? What's your wife's name?
Yeah.
Just general stuff that a normal person wouldn't just
Okay.
say. But
See, I'm great at that. I part of my daily routine is to have a conversation with a stranger, and I can find out
what's your favourite
somebody's-
TV show?
Yeah, I can find out someone's life story in about 8 minutes.
There
Yeah.
you go, mate. Sign him up. Sign him up.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure.
Nah.
Yeah,
But then, like at night, they then sort of said, "Okay, we're going to the pub," and it was like, "We'll tell you when you're finished. Keep drinking, keep drinking, keep drinking." They wanted to find out who could handle their piss,
Mm.
who was going to blab, who was going to be a dickhead, who's going to start a fight. And I'd been on, pretty fucking good training for the last, 10 months since Karen died.
Yeah.
And I was the last one standing every night. It was like they're all falling over, spewing their guts up, and I was like, I'll keep going. I can
Peasants.
do this for fucking 3 days, mate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got a pass mark. So, next thing you know, I rocked up at the, they said, yep, here you go, you've passed. Next Monday, rock up to the office. This is where it is. And, you go through all your, you start, and this is where your locker is, all that sort of housekeeping. And then they said, oh, okay, here's your printout. That's you from now on. I'm like, oh, Donny Wilson. Okay. Had the address, date of birth, driver's license, all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
Just like a really old school one. They said, that's you from now on.
Memorize it.
Okay.
So So, like, do they hand you a sheet of paper after that and go, okay, well, this is your task. This is what we need you to do. This is
Yeah,
who
then
we
they
need you
go,
to be.
okay,
and-
in a couple of days' time, someone from the drug squad or whatever, you got a controller, they call it.
okay.
They're going to contact you. They'll meet with you somewhere, and they'll go through what your next task is.
Briefing.
So my very first job was up at Caboolture, and I ended up being 9 months up there, and that was a bit of a baptism of fire. Yeah, it was a good one. It was a pretty rocking place, that joint.
Yeah.
There's a fair bit going on.
Yeah, I do maintenance for housing. So I work in Caboolture a lot. Yeah. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then what they do is they give you an informant, and they get the informant to sort of introduce you around and all that sort of shit. But what you do is you try and get rid of them quickly.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
did, yeah. So by that time, I sort of had established myself in the community, and then sort of just went around doing what I had to do. You know, I'd start with this person, this person, this person. You know, there was this couple that I sort of befriended, and it's in the book. It's a fucking funny story, I reckon. Whenever I'd go to this fella's house, he had like a mixing station in the lounge room, and there was literally almost nothing else in the house. And you could hear the music coming as you were driving down the street. That's how fucking loud it was.
All right.
And this was 2001, so all he played ever, and I was there 20 times, I reckon, was Eminem. Eminem, man. He had the blonde hair, you know, exactly like he thought he was fucking Marshall Mathers.
He was
Yeah.
a Stan.
Yeah.
They call him Stans.
Dance.
Yeah.
And so anyway, the missus, his missus, you know, was had a contact with the big crook that we were trying to get. So I befriended them, and you know, said, "Oh yeah, I'm looking to," and we were basically trying to buy as much speed as possible. So hadn't really sort of turned into ice yet, but it was still back of the old amphetamines. You know, it was always in the fridge. You know, you could smell it and go, "Oh yeah, it's like cat's piss, that one."
Yeah.
And so we were going for it. I said, "Oh, let's go and get on, yeah." And so I had this old yellow vacationer with moo cow car seats, and I was pretty proud of the fuckers, you know.
Yeah.
And so we go on the way there. We had to go down to Deception Bay or something, and we stopped into a bank. And back in the day, you remember you had to sort of write out a slip and hand it to the teller and whatever. That's what they had to do to get some money out, because they were going to get some gear. I was getting gear, all that sort of shit. And anyway, Marshall's at the counter, and you can see he's arguing with the lady. He's getting a bit angry. And anyway, he's come straight fucking storming back over and said, "Did you fucking take money out of our fucking account?" to the girlfriend. And she started doing the whole, we needed groceries or something like that. And he's just gone, fucking knocked her out in the bank. And like,
Wow.
I'm about 4 or 5 weeks into, you know, being undercover. Like, I'm still not used to this.
Yeah.
And my first thought was, I've got to help her.
Yeah.
But then I went, no, I can't do that.
It's not what Donny would do.
No.
No.
Fucking what would Donny do? So I leaned over and I said, "Don't fucking do that again, you rotten fucking mole." You know, something like that, you know. And
Yeah.
he goes, "Come on, Donny, let's fucking go." So went and back, jumped in the car. She comes running out with blood nose, fucking, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry." And anyway, she jumps in the car. We'd taken off, and, you know, they got no money. And I said, "Oh, fuck. I'll get you some. I'll pay for it, you know." So we go and buy some speed, and they can't wait to fucking shoot it up. So we're sort of near a school, and I think it was Redcliffe School or something like that. And yeah, next thing you know, spoons are out, fucking, yep, boom, straight in. "You want some, Donny?" "Nah, mate, no, I'm good, yeah. And I pretended to bomb it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I said, "Oh, I don't like needles, no." they're going, oh, this is good shit, man. Fucking the feel for steel, how fucking good. Oh, get it right here. And then she starts dry reaching. And I'm going, not on my fucking car seats, you motherfucker. How dare you? Fucking, like, she's spewing. So I fucking got out of the driver's seat, went back around, I got her out. I said, get the fuck out, spew out here. Fucking not on my car seats. I was so proud of my moo cow car seat. Anyway, she's spewing on the ground and whatever. And I remember looking over and there was all these kids just looking through the tennis courts like at us going, oh, fuck, man, this is fucking not good. And while I'm looking at that and looking at her spewing, fucking Marshall's jumped in the driver's seat. And he's going, come on, motherfuckers, let's go. Like, it's fucking straight into him.
He's ready to run. He would run out of there.
I'm going around to try and get him out. He go, get out. And he's going, nah, fuck off. Let's go. Jump in, Donny, jump in. In the meantime, she's jumped in the passenger seat. He was almost ready to fucking go. So I jumped in the back because I thought, they're not going without me. And he is fucking out of control. He's going down one-way streets. He's doing this and they're screaming at each other. You know, I'm in the back seat I didn't even get my seatbelt on, as if who wears seatbelts in that life anyway. But I was so worried about the dirty needle in the back as well. Like, where the fuck is it?
Shit.
And I'm getting flung around, all that sort of shit. And I'm going, what the fuck is going on here? And like they're screaming at each other, like you know, it reminded me of you know, some movie. Oh, I can't even think. Woody Harrelson and someone, Natural Born Killers.
Ah, yeah.
And they're screaming at each other.
Yeah.
Like, and she's going, slow down. And he's going, yeah, okay. And she's going, no, fuck it, go faster, fuck you. And they're like, they're just yelling at each other because they're off their heads.
Yeah.
And they're fucking screaming, I love you, no, fuck you, hate you, fuck you.
far
And they're
out.
going off. And like the music's fucking going off and anyway, he's going, and then he must have turned and he's going, shut up, God, fucking shut up. And like she's going, don't talk to me like that, fuck on. And then they start arguing. I go, fucking hell.
Undercover life.
He pulls out a fucking hunting knife and he sticks it right into a fucking, like, into a thigh.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Fuck. And I've gone, what the fuck?
Jesus.
And he slams on the brakes, then he starts crying. Oh, what have I done? What have I done?
Oh,
I've gone, fuck. Oh, I said, not on my car seats. Fuck's
not the
sake.
fucking moose.
No. Not spew, not blood, nothing. Get the fuck out. I pulled him out. He was like in shock. I pulled her out and I jumped in and I fucking took off and I've rung my boss and I said, could you get an ambulance to this fucking corner? It was like, fucking hell. You know, welcome to fucking Caboolture.
So what do you like? How do you like? What are you supposed to do? You can't blow your cover, obviously, or you just had to fucking leg it and just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah. Other cops and ambos turned up and dealt with it and ended up going to jail for it. So,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
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 Far out. And
Sorry. So when you have to debrief that moment with
Yeah.
with
No,
those
here he is.
above you, like, how does that play out on you? Like, being in a situation like that, you just you're just along for a ride, really, when it comes to being with those sorts of people, right?
Yeah, it's just part of the
It's just part of it.
part of the deal,
yeah, okay,
Mm.
yeah,
Ended up working well because got him out of the situation.
yeah,
He went to jail and
yeah,
then I could talk to her.
yeah, yeah, okay.
did you like? And obviously, I'm just you don't brief her about you or anything like that, do you? Like,
No.
no, but you can still go think, oh yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, she ended up being, you could tell she was really sweet on me because, you know, when I worked it out, I didn't bash her. I didn't fucking stab her. I was always on time and I always paid fucking the right amount of money.
Fucking
which
knight
is
in shining armor, mate.
It was like unusual for her. She'd never experienced that before in her life.
Yeah.
So she had a connection to the big honcho.
Yeah.
So did that end up working there?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very loose connection and
Yeah.
I sort of went through around, it was still months and months away and
Yeah.
Yeah, finally ended up happening.
Yep.
It was more luck than anything, but
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so. How do you draw the line? I don't know if I'm skipping too far ahead here in my own head, but like, how do you? What is there a blurred line? Like, you're saying, they were shooting up and they asked you if you wanted staff, and I'm guessing you're not allowed to do
No, you're
any
not.
kind of drugs
No.
when you're undercover.
No.
I'm only referencing movies here, right? But usually, like, then they at some point kind of get forced.
Yeah, there was a few times.
Yeah.
Where I
I don't know if I'm skipping ahead in your story here. or
No,
anything. I'm
no,
just
not at
asking,
all.
like I said, tangents.
no, I was still very new to it. I was still very green. As things went on, talking about green, that became a bit of a
Yep.
a common.
Yep.
It was explained to me really, really quickly that in your world, Todd, bringing over a 6-pack with your mates is how you do it. In our world, we pass the bong around. You got to be part of it.
That's right. 'Cause
So-
you can't really fake chugging on a bong.
Oh, apparently you could.
You
but
are.
yeah.
Yeah, but you want it to be authentic.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
you weren't allowed to inhale.
Yeah. You can tell. The smoke's not the same.
Yeah.
Smoke's not the same.
Yeah.
So that was okay. Like weed.
No, they said, well,
Oh, nothing.
what I got told, on the side, we understand you got to do what you got to do.
Okay.
But if you get caught, we're going to crucify
Okay.
you. So,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's like workplace health and safety. They all want to know about it until they don't want to know about it until you get hurt.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. That's right. So you find yourself now kind of getting initiated into this world. How long were you in it for?
2 years all up.
2 years.
Mm.
Yeah. And then so you started in Caboolture and you made your way.
Yeah, so, they got the big bloke that no one had ever got before, and, I'm getting pats on the back and awards and everything, and I think I threw one in the bin. I said, fuck, I don't want that. I don't give a shit. Because there was certain things that had happened during that. There was a shotgun in my head. I got into that many fights. Just stupid shit that we're lucky that I'm still here,
Mm.
very lucky.
Yeah.
So I wasn't doing it for the accolades,
You're doing it because you're dealing with something and you're wanting to lose yourself a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't remember I was actively thinking it at the time, but, as I reflected on it many, many years later, I was trying to find a noble end. I was trying to make the pain go away. I was trying to, not only Donny was a outlet for me,
Oh,
where I was escaping, but then I had to go back to Todd at some stage, and then that's where all the shit was, and that's where
That's right.
I never wanted to go back to it, but you had to go back to it.
Did you find yourself as Donny thinking much about your trauma or your
No.
that? Because you would have had that's the thing, like you just said, that was your escape.
Yeah,
And not alter ego, but
yeah.
Donny doesn't have that suffering.
Donny had no suffering. He was a happy-go-lucky,
Yeah.
really carefree, with no fear, with no care factor, with fucking nothing.
Kind of like you when you were 25.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get to relive what you
yeah.
were.
But like if someone said, and these are little things that it's hard to explain in the book, someone would say, fucking don't go through don't go and knock on that bloke's door, mate. He's a fucking lunatic. You'll get a shotty in your fucking face. Oh, that's a fucking, guess what I'm doing? I'm running straight over to it. Yeah, fuck. And that's the sort of shit I was doing.
Yeah.
Fucking, I don't give a fuck what happens to me,
Far
because
out.
I had no fear. I wasn't afraid of dying, and I knew I've never have in my whole life, and I still don't. I don't have any suicidal thoughts. I don't ever. I still want to live on this life. There's still so much good stuff to happen, but I do remember back then was just I'm just sick of feeling this way. I fucking hate feeling this way. and I can't stop it any other way. And I didn't want to do what had Karen done. So I thought to myself, if it happens in the line of duty, at least they'll fucking name a boat after me.
Yeah. I'll be remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there'll
there'll
be
be
a
no shame.
a park bench.
Yeah,
Here's,
there'll be no
here's where Todd
shame.
sat.
And, my parents won't have to pay for the funeral and fucking happy days.
So in a way, it was some kind of suicidal ideation, but not in the way that you were actively thinking about it all the time.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking, how am I going to do this? What am I going to use a shotgun? Am I going to
Yeah.
fucking use it,
Yeah.
rope or something? I
So
never ever thought
You
that.
just weren't worried about your. Sorry, mate.
No,
You weren't
you're
just worried. You didn't have to worry about repercussions. It's like, I'll go balls deep in this, and then if I get caught, they find a wire, I'm dead anyway.
Yeah,
Just
Yeah.
do it.
yeah,
And it's like, like you're saying in the prologue there, like the suicide by cop. It was kind of like, well, if it's
Suicide.
suicide by criminal,
yeah.
then
Yeah.
It's like giving someone that wink. I don't want to die. I don't want to kill myself.
yeah,
There was actually one time I was doing a job up north near Mackay, and I jumped in this fella's car and I was buying, I would have had 22,000 bucks in my pocket. I think I was buying maybe 5 ounces, maybe, and what I used to wear were jeans, and me pluggers with no socks or whatever, and just maybe a flannel or some bullshit like that. And the recording wire had actually come back into my pocket and then down. I sat in his car, and I looked down, and the on-off button of the wire was sitting on the bridge of my foot.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, and I initially had the whole, fuck, what am I going to do? But I distinctly remember saying, no, let's just see if I can get out of this. I was going to put my other foot over the top so he didn't see it, but I went, nope. He didn't fucking see it, but I was sort of going, I started becoming such of a smart ass going, I reckon I can get myself out of anything now.
Yeah.
And I went, I'm going to give it a fucking go, give it a go.
That's my Walkman. My Walkman lead.
I still to this day don't know what the fuck I would have said, but I wanted to give it a go.
So you just left it there and you didn't see it.
Yep.
Yeah, you wanted to die, didn't you? Yeah, far out.
Because he always did have a gun. I know that for a fact, yeah. So.
Talk us about the moment in the prologue where you walked into this bar with the 10 bikey guys.
Yeah, so this was just a one-nighter where I had to, it was down the Bayside on far south. And it was just one of those intel jobs where, you didn't know anyone, you just rocked up to the club and spent the night in there, and then I had to report back to all the bosses about what was in there and who was in there and all that sort of shit. So I've knocked on the door, and I remember shitting myself going, how the fuck am I going to get into a bikie clubhouse, So I went to a pub first down about 6 schooners, and I knocked on the door, and I remember just going, fucking hell, you're a big cunt. And he goes, what do you want? I said, there was a flyer, one of those inviting all the workers around. So I knew that it wasn't just whatever. I said, mate, one of my mates, one of the mechanics down here, gave this to me and said, it'd be a good night here. Yeah, come in.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Security.
And so anyway, it was a fucking great night. Fuck, I had a good night. With strippers and fucking cheap piss and pool and, at one stage, I was at the bar with, arms around each other, like about 6 or 7 bikies, and we're just passing the fucking doobie down and back and having good chats, and everything was cool. At one stage, my boss, who's like down the shopping centre, he's going, oh, mate, yeah, it's fucking, midnight, pretty sure I'm keen to get home. I said, no, I'm having fun, I'm staying.
See you
Fuck
later.
you. Yeah.
Doing overtime.
I said, I'll tell you when I'm fucking going, mate.
All right. In those moments, like in that moment, you just forget that you're undercover and you're not there. Like you just go, fuck, I'm not going to gain in time. I'm just going to enjoy
Yeah,
it.
I was drunk, stoned,
Yeah.
and I was having a good time. And I knew that when I had to go back to them, I had to be all official and write reports and all that sort of bullshit. It was like sometimes it was better hanging out with the others than the the official shit.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'd be reluctant to go back to, you know, the police sort of area going, it's more fun hanging out with these motherfuckers, you know?
Mm.
So, but anyway, you know, playing pool and I used to play footy, A-grade footy down the Gold Coast for a team called Tugan Seahawks. And a fella that I played footy with there, he was playing reserve grade, he's come over and goes, hey, Toddy, how you going? And I'm going, fuck. Nah, mate. Who the fuck's Todd? He goes, yeah, you're Todd. You played down in Tugan. I said, nope, from Sydney, mate. I have no idea who you are. I knew exactly who the fuck he was.
Mm.
And luckily he was a winger. And he goes, yeah, I remember. And it was almost like one of those fucking moments in time where, you know, the whole bar stops the music, but it didn't really, but that's what it felt like. He goes, are you still a cop or something to that line? Or you were a cop back then or something, you know. There was something about a cop. And to me, it was just like the whole place just stopped. But it didn't really, but it felt like it.
Oh, your heart would have been.
Oh, fuck yeah.
This is it.
Yeah. So I thought that I was always, you know, violence was my currency back then because I loved it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It got my anger out. Plus, it was always part of the world that I was living in.
Mm-hmm.
So my natural reaction was to knock him out, and I did. So yeah, put him straight on his on his ass. He's out like a light, and that's when the music stopped. It was like, "Fuck, what's going on over here?"
Yeah.
Because it was a bit of a, you know,
A ruckus?
Yeah, fuck it. And anyway,
I was thinking, who's this guy just coming here and start knocking people out?
yeah. So I've gone, fuck this. Yeah, I'm out of here. Time to go now. I'll probably go and see my boss who's down the road.
Yeah.
But I'd had a fair few stubbies, so I thought, fuck, I'm going to quick piss. I was busting. Quick piss, and then I'll be able to, you know, it was like a kilometre or two down the road. And so I'm doing a piss. The same blokes that I had my arms around with the fucking whatever, they come walking in going, hey, the fuck's going on out there? And I'm going, hey, fucking no trouble, fucking don't know what you're talking about. I go, hey. And they said, that was my brother. One bloke said, that was my brother. What'd you hit him for? And I'm saying, mate, I'm fucking sorry. I'm sorry, but he grabbed me on the cock, mate. I'm sorry, he did. He's a puff. Your brother's a puff, mate.
Yeah. I thought it was his husband, Todd.
And he's going, fuck off, he is. I said, no. Well, mate, maybe it was just me, mate. I don't know. And we're talking like that. And then they end up fucking, you know, initially they go, oh, no, it was my brother. We fucking, you know, whatever. And then some other fella who had a shotty said, but he did say you're a fucking cop. What's going on there?
Oh.
And I've done the whole, yeah, I am a fucking cop. What are you going to do about it? I'm Detective Donny. You're all under arrest. That's all I went. And they've gone, what? I said, you're all under arrest. Put your hands around you behind your back. You're all under arrest. And they're all going, fuck off.
Yeah.
Well, I said, well, that's how much of a fucking cop I am, you fuckheads. You know? Yeah. And that's what I said, you know, that bloke with the shot, he goes, fucking, I wouldn't even fucking waste bullets on you, you fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
You know, and as soon as they walk back out, I've just gone, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I was out of there. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck, mate. Adrenaline would have been pumping.
Fucking oath. Yeah.
Far out. Would have had a good sleep after that adrenaline dump.
Sometimes that'd be the best defense, say, is a good offense. Like,
Yeah, well, that was a lesson on that night where I use violence and then I use my words to get out of things.
There you go. De-escalate the situation.
and
Diffuse
then,
it.
And then how was the debrief with the boss after that one?
Oh, it's filthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were fucking supposed to be 2 hours ago. Fucking, I wanted to be in bed. Fucking, yeah.
So fuck, you can't rush fucking these things, mate.
Yeah.
So what did you find out? Nothing, mate. Had a fucking great night.
Someone's brother's gay.
He goes, nothing. I went, no. Can I go back next Friday night?
Let's you indulge a little bit and go, yeah, it was a bit hazy.
Yeah.
I said, I had one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And then how did
Good
you,
bunch of people. Loved them.
How'd you find, like, when you actually then you go from something like that, or you've been out for the night like that, and then you've got to report the next day, like, obviously, like, you've got to try and give a good recollection of what's happened, and you've got to try and give back that intel and whatnot. Did you ever kind of be like, oh, actually I did, but I can't remember? Like,
No, he just makes shit up.
yeah,
It'd be that far. To them, be like, oh yeah, that sounds possible.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what was the transition like from going from undercover back to?
It's fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
Mm. I'd trained myself and taught myself to respond as Donny. You know, if you're in a pub, when you think about it, you know, you've got to say, you know, if someone yells out Donny, you got to look like that. And similarly, if someone yells out Todd, you can't do that as well. Like you just got to, no, not fucking talking to me.
Mm.
So that's just one little thing you got to sort of. But you know, I did immerse myself in the whole world and loved it, and was very anti-police and very, you know, yeah, I lived it fucking bit too much, to be honest with you. You know, so trying to, yeah, my very last job, you know, they said, oh, okay, your 2 years is nearly up.
Oh, so it's you can only do 2 years.
Only 2, yeah, back then 2 years. I think you're allowed to do 3 now or something.
Is that all, like all up, or do you have to have a stint off it and then back in it?
No,
or?
all up, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they don't want people getting too
Deep.
far into it, yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was going to be that was a loaded question. Was it close to going too deep?
No,
No?
just other people, and it used to be a lot longer. And you know, back in the 80s and the 70s and maybe even 90s, there's a lot of ex-undercovers that, you know, got on heroin and did armed robberies and spent a lot of years in jail. And yeah, they went.
They crossed the line.
Yeah, they went real big full time, but they'd in it for a lot longer, and they had no controls as well. So
They almost just became a criminal informant.
yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so anyway, I was just about finished. It was about 2 months to go, and they said, Todd, we've got our last job, but it's down in Sydney, and it's on cops. And I went, nah, I'm not fucking doing that, mate. I said, oh, we'll report to Crime Stoppers next week then. I said, what? They said, oh, you may as well finish up. There's nothing else going on. And I said, what's the job about? They said, oh, they're actually, you know, they're in uniform and they've got a pill press and they're manufacturing and they're supplying all the security guards in Surrey Hills. I went, yeah, well, they're not cops. They're crooks in fucking blue uniform, really. So fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you also, when you go away on that, you're on big money as well. So that was another little
Okay.
thing as well. So you're always trying to get those away games to make a few extra bucks. But this one was, you know, I had to live the high life, and it was great. You know, sometimes you're living in caravans, other times you're living in a high rise overlooking Hyde Park. They gave me a BMW to drive around in. You know, absolutely every night I'd be in a strip joint, and I'd be, you know, just at the back of the bar, and I'd always have my back to the girls, you know, because I'm not in there for the girls. I'm in there to be a seedy fucking drug dealer. So that was my go. And yeah, even one particular night, I got invited to this massive party on a super yacht. It was fucking awesome. And the 2 cops were there, and it sort of goes into it a bit more in the book, but you know, they could smell a rat pretty much, and or there must have been some corruption, I don't know. But yeah, they picked me pretty quickly, and as I was coming out of the toilet, they fucking pushed me back in, and fucking, you know, I had, you know, a bag of pills that the other fellow had given to me, and said, oh, if you're not a cop, fucking have a couple. So I did. Fuck.
Hey, I was keeping my cover.
Yeah, so I didn't sleep the next couple of days. And
So that convinced him?
no, it didn't, no.
Oh.
So everyone's phones were being listened to. So by, you know, the headquarters sort of rings me the next day or the day after or whatever, and they said, oh, they've been listening to him going, yeah, even though we know he's a fucking cop, we fucking made him do it, you know, type thing. And wasn't it funny the way he was off his fucking head? And
Oh, fucking hell.
So things like that, yeah. So anyway, so I finished that job. So they said, "Oh, you're out of here. You're on the next plane home." So did that. So they said, "Okay."
Did they get the guys though?
No, they never did.
No.
No.
Bugger.
Got the fella who I was buying off an associate of them, and I was buying 1,000 at a time, which was 22 grand, 23 grand or something like that. But yeah, there was no sort of closure with that, with the cops. But
Couldn't piece the bits of evidence to them.
yeah, I think there was too many people on the inside.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, have you ever like been like, well, look, here's all the evidence, and you still couldn't make anything stick? Is that one of those kind of
Sorta.
cases?
Yeah, well, they hadn't really sort of been in. Yeah, I don't think they could sort of pin them on anything because they were a little bit too smart for it.
Okay.
So finished that job, and they said, "Yeah, well, there's your 2 years are up, and you can start on Monday at Crime Stoppers." So they said start at 8 o'clock. I went, fucking 8 o'clock, Jesus, I haven't been up that early in fucking 2 years. Fucking midday. It was
Donny
fucking-
doesn't get up that early.
It's fucking midday.
Give me those pills again.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, so my 8 o'clock was 9:30.
Yep.
And the boss was fucking furious, you know. And I said, "Mate, that's the best I can do for you." Seriously. And like, I think I'd borrowed a shirt, and you know, it didn't even fit. I couldn't even tuck it in. It was just looked fucking horrendous. Like, if you saw me walking down headquarters sort of way and go, "Did he just steal that fucking uniform?"
Oh, no.
It looks so fucked. And I felt like a fish out of water anyway. So they said, so what we'll get you to do is just answer some phones, you know. It's I think it was the dobbing a drug dealer fucking week or some bullshit. And I'm going, fuck this shit. Oh, God. I can't do this shit. I can't do it. And anyway, one of the first phone calls I got, it was some fucking dweeby sounding little fuck just going, I just want to fucking dob my neighbour in. He's fucking smoking cones and this fucking and it's coming over to my fucking fence and I said, "Are you fucking serious, cunt?" I said, "Don't you know what fucking dogging on people, what that's going to do to you, mate? Fucking snitches get stitches, mate. You're a fucking idiot. Don't you understand the fucking rules, you know?" And I'm just ripping into him, and the boss sort of comes running over, grabs the phone, gives it to some other girl, and smooth that over. "Come on, Todd, come for a walk down the road with me." And I'm fired up, going, that fucking dickhead has no idea. Fucking, they're the fucking rules. You don't fucking dog on people. So it took me a long time to get used to it. And he goes, "I think we'll get you to do some filing for a while."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No customer relation stuff.
Yeah.
No, I said, "Man, fuck, who the fucking dogs on people?" He goes, "Well, that's basically what Crime Stoppers is." I went, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I missed the memo on that one.
Yeah. So I was still really focused in that world, you know. I fucking, really wanted to.
Yeah, but is that them trying to like reintegrate you?
They just wanted to try and give you some structure.
Yeah.
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 Just go to work from 8 to 4.
They need to send you back to police academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
with the sergeants and the corporals
out.
there.
Yeah, I know. I don't know if I would handle that.
Yeah.
Fuck no. So it's not that easy to come back into that sort of world, and then that's probably when I started realising, you know, I've got to start grieving.
Yeah.
Because I'd hidden it, I'd run away from it.
Well, you're Todd now.
Yeah, I was Todd again.
Back to Todd's
and there was
problems.
no escaping.
Yeah.
And that's when the shit hit the fan, you know. And you know, by this time I'd met a girl, and we got engaged, and you know, I'm still married to her today, which is wonderful. You know, we got married and had a kid. We bought a house with the money that I'd made from Undercover, and I've got the white picket fence, fucking, you know, everything's nice, and I'm trying to be a good husband, trying to be a good dad, but the world just didn't seem fucking normal to me. world didn't seem right. You know, I remember I got a job in the Valley CIB. I remember getting the 7:07 train in the morning from Ferny Grove into the Valley, sitting there with my paper, with my fucking briefcase with the sandwich in it, just going,
Just like rat race shit.
this is not me. I can't do this shit. I can't go from that to this. It's just, I can't do it, man. Fuck. So, yeah, it sort of went on the spiral then because, you know, every now and then I'd lose my shit and I'd blow out and I'd go on benders again. I'd start drinking and just being a fuckwit again.
Is that like from going back to Donny?
Yeah,
That persona?
Donny would come out and to this day, my wife says to me, you know, Donny now is a metaphor for your PTSD.
Yeah, man.
And she'll say to me, I can see Donny slipping back in. And I go, oh, fuck. Thank you. So it's something that she's well aware of it because poor girl's had to live, you know, the last 20 years of it. And sometimes I take it on board and other times I don't.
What's that movie with Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg? Where like Will Ferrell was like the pimp in school and now he's like this really good boy. It's like, Kate ain't gonna take no shit.
Yeah,
That's all I can think of. Sorry, man. I'm not trying to poke fun, but that's all I can think of was him when he goes back to
really
that gator
straight,
mode.
yeah.
It's like, Gator don't take no shit.
yeah, I know the one.
Yeah. Was that like, yeah.
I don't
like-
think I was that straight.
No,
but
but-
I was trying to be.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you just find yourself slipping back into it.
But, you know, and then over the years, you know, I kept on saying, I'm better than it, I'm stronger than it, I'm running from it, I've dealt with it, all of these things, and I'm fine. But in reality, I wasn't. And, you know, it probably wasn't until around, you know, almost the 20-year later mark where I sort of, you know, 2019, 2020 mark was when it really came back and bite me on the arse. And, yeah, I really struggled and I didn't know why. But you don't need to be a psychologist to work it out.
Is there any signs you could have, like looking back now, that you probably could have picked up on earlier to go,
Yeah. And my wife saw every one of them,
yeah.
but I wasn't recognising them and I wasn't accepting them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You need to be able to see them.
Yeah.
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 It was me that had to really hit rock bottom again, thinking that I had moved on, but I hadn't. And when you really look at it, I really had done nothing to do anything. I really had done no work to fix it. I just thought, it's done, it happened, and I'm over it now. And that was to the extent, you know, I went to some psychologist and did this and did that. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
I looked at them and, you know, and it gets back to the social media stuff where I didn't want someone who'd read a textbook to tell me what I should do. I want someone that's been through the same fucking storm as me. And I'd quiz them and say, what's happened in your life? No, nothing. I've just...
We're not here to talk about my life.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the analogies I gave was, you know, it's like a man telling a woman what to expect in childbirth. It's impossible
Yeah.
for a person who hasn't gone through significant trauma to explain to another person what it's like. It's impossible.
Yeah.
The grief and the trauma does so fucking many weird shit to your fucking head. I can't explain it.
Yeah.
And now I start seeing these reels of grief and trauma and I go, wow, that's what I've been feeling. It's normal. It's fucking normal, which is great, which is so good. It makes me feel good about myself now because I always thought that it must have been me not being able to handle it or whatever, but it wasn't that at all. One of my psychologists did do something good and she said, write down everything that happened that day, you know, in 2000. So I wrote it all down, like about 4 or 5 pages long, and I put it in my folded it up and put it in my top drawer next to my bed. And when I left the police in 2023, I started reading other undercover books, and I was fascinated by them. Going, fuck, feels like I'm back there again. Oh, it's fucking cool. This one's really well done. You know, Keith Banks and a few others, and I sort of went, man, I reckon I got a book in me. You know, I said, because I've done all of those ones as well, but as well as that, what I found interesting that when they were talking about the 70s and 80s and 90s, it was all different type of drugs, and how Queensland especially has evolved over the years with different drugs that have flooded the market. You know, when I did it, there was pills and amphetamines.
Mm.
You know, 10 years later, it morphed into ice, and now coke is absolutely everywhere.
Mm.
So it's amazing. You know, the fellas back in the 70s and 80s were mainly just doing cannabis and heroin. So that's why I thought, you know, I don't think there's anyone in my era that's written a book. So at least there'll be something in history to say, you know, this is what happened at the turn of the century.
That's right.
So I started thinking about that, and I was just mulling over my head about how am I going to write it. And I went, I don't want it just to be a undercover book, because that's a bit boring. And then I was talking to my cousin, and I said, do you remember Donny, how Donny was a bit of a loose cannon? And I said, I've just been thinking about it recently. And I pulled that thing out, and I read it. And I said, do you reckon Donny was on a bit of a death wish? And he looks at me and he goes, are you fucking serious, you idiot? Absolutely you were. And I was really surprised. I went, really? Do you honestly think that? Fuck, we all thought that. You couldn't be told, mate. And I'm going, shit. And then I really started thinking more about it. And I went, there is a connection. And I was like, fuck. Again, you don't have to be a road scholar to work that out. But because I'd put things out of my brain, didn't want to think about them, I didn't put the connection. And I went, well, at least I got 4 or 5 pages I don't have to write. I've already done it. And then it became, when I started writing, you know, that story, I was going, I think I gave it to one of my mates to have a read, and he goes, how the fuck are you still alive after that? And it sort of just kept morphing from that. I said, well, there's another one where, you know, I was buying heroin off the Vietnamese, and you know, they put $100,000 triad hit on me, and I got out of that, like that sort of shit. What? Fuck.
Pass me that book. Holy shit.
Yeah. So, and I'm there going, and the more I talked about it, the more I was like, fuck, man, you got a book in you. Like, this is going to be cool. I'm going, yeah. The more I thought about it, going, yeah, maybe it is. Yeah. So,
Were you, what is it, 368 pages?
I think
Something like that?
I did, yeah. When it got printed and it got delivered to me, I was really surprised how big it was. Very surprised.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the big words because the big letters.
Yeah.
Because I am an ex-footy player, you know, and I just made sure that they were big letters,
Simple.
and not really big words. You know?
Yeah.
Far out.
You know, I mean, I can't wait to delve into it. And
But the underlying thing and what I'm saying and what I've now realised is that I ran from it for so long. Yeah. And it did come back to bite me on the arse really badly. Yeah. And I wish that I addressed it at the time. I wish I, you know, did the hard work and faced it head on, but I was too weak, I was too scared and didn't do it. I think you give yourself time to, you know, grieve and whatever you have to do once you've hit rock bottom, but just don't stay there too long. You know, don't stay there too long.
yeah,
You know, find a way out through your mates, through whatever. Find something that you love doing. And, you know, it's never that easy, but, you know, what I always did was, you know, I went back and started playing footy again, you know, in my 30s, and I ended up loving it. And, you know, and then I broke my arm. I tackled a bloke on his head. He ducked it and he got me. And I sort of, you know, so I had my eye, had that, and I've got plates in my knee as well. And I've sort of been saying to some of the younger fellas that I'm, because I went into coaching after that and stuff, and I said, if you break your leg playing footy this Saturday, you're going to tell the trainer, you're going to tell your coach, yeah, okay, and then what are you going to do after that? Well, you're probably going to go to the hospital. They're going to fix your knee or break you, whatever it is. They put plaster on it. And then what's going to happen after that? Well, you're going to rest and you're going to recover. And then after that, you're going to do physio. You're going to do work on it to make it strong again. And I said, so when you have a traumatic event or something that, it could be a car accident, it could be an assault, it could be, anything that makes you not think straight and your thoughts are very different to what they have been, and you know that there's something wrong, you know that you've had a brain injury, the same as what you just had on your leg. And that's through no fault of your own. But who here would put your hand up and tell your trainer, tell your coach, in other words, to your friends, family, doctors, all that sort of stuff? No, not many. I said, boys, whatever happens to your leg or your body in footy is no different to what's happening in there. The answer is put your hand up, get it seen to, get it fixed to the best of your ability, and and then keep working on it, doing the physio on it, doing all the right things that, no drinking, no drugs, all that sort of bullshit. Fitness is a real big part of it. And surround yourself with like-minded people. Try not to stay with the people that sort of can bring you down. That's really important.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to fall. What I used to say was, it started up with, 1 step forward and 2 step back. For me, it was. And then it became, 2 steps forward and 1 step back, 5 steps forward and 2 steps back, 10 steps forwards and 1 step back. And it just kept longer and longer and longer because you kept plodding along. That's right. Because it did get better. And that's why I said, that's what you got to do. You got to do the right thing and treat whatever's happening up there the same as anything else in your body. Don't be ashamed of it. It's normal. It really is normal. Don't be embarrassed.
That's what you said is don't be afraid if you fail. Don't be hard on yourself. Like Instagram tells us, and one of my favorites is Sadhguru, is you fall down 99 times, get back up 100. Just don't give up. Eventually you'll stop falling.
Yep.
And everything's a lesson learned.
Oh, that's right.
I've only learned all this shit within the last 6 months, 5 months. I was in a bad spot, bad way.
Yeah.
And you were saying about rock bottom before, but for me, it's like I thought I was at rock bottom when you're in that headspace, but then you realize there's a fucking different level of rock bottom. And that's when you get to that one there, then shit, I actually have to do the hard work in my brain, change the way I think. I think there was 2 levels. There was like it's shit.
Man, you can always fall further.
Yeah, but then it gets to the point where you just go, and like you've experienced, there's no other level.
Yeah, it's where you say, I don't want to do this anymore.
And the only thing that got me through it was music.
Yeah.
Yep. I was like, no. It was a particular band, and I was like, if I died now, I wouldn't be able to listen to them. That's what kept me going.
I love it.
Yeah, yeah, and that's all you need. Just one thing. Could be food, could be fucking anything. As long as it gives you that bit of enjoyment, and it stops you thinking of doing that final, delete.
Yeah.
You grasp it with whatever it is.
So you might see on the front there's a black dog there over my shoulder. What that represents is obviously the black dog that everyone talks about.
Mm-hmm.
But there's more to the story there. What it is when Clark was 10, so it was 6 years later, he was living down in Tasmania with his dad and new partner, and I went down and visited him, and I wanted to catch up with him and all that sort of stuff. And they said, he's been doing a lot of work with counsellors and psychologists and everything, but he wants to hear from you what happened that day. I went, okay, yeah.
at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was around then, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't give him, it was an abridged version. It was child
Child friendly.
friendly.
PG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still didn't want to give him visuals and stuff.
Yeah.
The one thing that stood out at the end of it was he said, "But what happened to that big black dog at the end?" And I said, "What do you mean, black dog, mate?" He goes, "Well, the whole time when you were in that room with Mummy, there was this big black dog with big teeth, and it had me pinned up against the wall." I went, "No," and I didn't didn't think too much of it at the time. Going, "No, mate, we didn't have a dog. There was no dogs in the street. We lived in a cul-de-sac. Neighbours didn't have dogs. No, I don't remember ever seeing any." And when I came out, I remember running past you to get the knife, and then coming back out to get you later. I never saw a dog. And it wasn't until maybe the last 5, 6, 7 years where I've really started thinking about it. Going, it was fucking Karen's black dog. That's what he was seeing. It had left her, and was, I think, protecting him from coming inside, because he still could have come inside if he wanted to.
That's right.
And now what I've made sense of it is, so many people say that they don't want to be on this earth because their family would be so much better without them, and they're just a pain, and they're just they're a hindrance to their family, and they'd be so much better off without me. What I believe, obviously Karen thought the same thing, but her black dog left her body, and we took it on. So what I say to people is, if you love your family, and you think you're going to leave this earth and make it better for them, the black dog that you got, you're just going to pass it on to them, and their life's now fucked.
That's right.
That's so true.
Yeah.
If you don't sort yourself out, it's just going to be like that generational trauma, isn't it, really? It's just going to get filtered down.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
And that's sort of basically what I was, very much saying in this book, that, that's what I believe has happened,
Yeah. No, I was looking at the cover thinking, was that Donny's dog, or, or something like that, or was that a police dog, or something like that? But no, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, and then through Undercover, pretty much everyone that I dealt with there had black dogs, and so many people's places that I went to, lived on 666 something, and all their rego was 666, and it just the black dog and the 666 just kept on haunting me.
Yeah,
Is it fucking following me?
that's right.
You probably noticed that those things a lot more because you're like hypersensitive towards it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's like when you buy a new car and then all of a sudden you see that same car everywhere now.
Yeah.
It's like because you've got one.
Yeah, exactly.
And being hypersensitive towards those things because that's what you're going through too. So,
Yeah. When I the brain wasn't thinking that smart, you think it's more sinister, but when you become a bit more logic driven, you sort of go, it's exactly that. It's exactly that. Yeah.
You still think, there's still part of me that would still think that, there's a reason behind that you're still seeing it. That's me.
Of course.
So for many years, I thought it was poor me. What have I done wrong? I deserve this. All of these things. The more I've matured, the more I've really processed it and worked it out. I now find it's a gift. I wouldn't be here otherwise.
No.
I sort of for many years was waiting for someone to take the lead, not realising that I had the story to take the lead on. And what I've noticed recently is whatever that book is, whatever happens with it, whatever, don't matter. What I've noticed already is it's become a conversation starter with other blokes. And, some of the biggest, toughest blokes I've seen I've sort of handed the book and say, oh, what's this about? And I tell them, and next thing you know, they're in tears talking about what they're going through. And it made me realise absolutely everyone's going through something.
Mm.
They either have or they are right now.
Right.
Yeah.
And everyone's just waiting for an opportunity to just talk.
Yeah.
And it's happened every time. And I initially thought that, just in the back of my mind, people are going to put shit on me because I'm, saying that I was weak, I was, whatever, and a bit of PTSD and all that sort of shit. And then maybe it was when I hit 50, I just went, I don't really give a shit what people think about me.
That's right.
I really don't,
No.
especially if it's negative.
Yeah.
Wish
That's not your concern to worry about.
Yeah, exactly. And,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, if someone, some big tough bloke in the corner of the bar goes, you fucking faggot for writing a book, fucking whatever. I go, well, whatever, mate.
Yeah.
You're the one that's got the problem, mate. I know that now.
Where's your book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be about
You can't even
the book,
spell
but-
faggot.
Yeah.
But one thing I've noticed is
Not
F
everyone needs a,
agate.
not everyone
biggest-
needs a podcast.
Not everyone needs a podcast.
toughest
Yeah,
blokes
fuck
in the
you.
world, mate. They'll be the first to fucking shed a tear and give you a hug and
That's right.
and say, mate, I've gone through something,
Yeah.
this and that. And
So what are you doing now that you've left the police force? What, 3 years now?
yeah,
3 years,
3 years.
So what are you doing with yourself now? You just
Wrote a book,
wrote a book.
but I'm in another government organisation, just doing investigations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
hopefully I can retire on that soon.
Yeah.
Jeez, that'd be all right. That'd be all right, wouldn't it?
How long has the book been out for?
Only since February.
February?
Yeah, February
Yeah.
7. It
And
was.
it's doing well for you?
Yeah, it's going really well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's now I've said this numerous times that I wrote it selfishly for myself, and it did work. It did help me.
Yeah.
It certainly
Healing.
it turned the negativity into positivity, and
Like
it started the
like quite a cathartic process.
yeah, it was yeah, and I thought it was really good, and I was happy with that.
Yeah.
Really happy with that. Now it's out, and I reckon I'm getting messages every day, if not every second day, from either people I do know or people that don't, just saying, I just want to reach out and say thank you. You have no idea what you've done for me.
Yeah.
Like I'm going, what are you talking about? Like, and then they'll sort of explain to me this and that, and I'm like going, shit, wow.
Yeah.
I said, I'd never thought of that. I never thought in my wildest dreams that was going to actually happen.
Such like a rewarding, not like you don't do it for that reason, but knowing that what you've produced
It's
has
just made
helped
it even
someone.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, for years I kept on saying Karen's death was all for nothing. No one even talks about her anymore. No one, we don't even have a grave site. We don't have anything like that. And one, I thought I wanted to honour her life, and I wanted to show her son that she really did love him, and she obviously went through some troubles.
Mm.
And it just makes me think now, it wasn't all in vain.
No.
That she is now helping people.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel really good about that.
Yeah.
It's every time I hear it, the amount of people that I see, especially blokes, are saying, I have not read a book in 15 years. I could not put it down. I even got it today. A bloke rang me and said, I just want to let you know, I have not, read a book in so long. He goes, I sort of did it about lunchtime. I stopped at about 9 o'clock, went to sleep, woke up in the morning, and then finished it the next day. And he goes, I could not stop. I went, wow, good work. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I've put down my current book to start this one because it was boring me. So,
I wanted to ask you, what if there was a technique or something that helped you with healing, or that you heard on or you seen on Instagram? Like what was something that helped?
Yeah, I've tried to think about
like a tip or something, or
Yeah.
a quote, or
I've tried to think about the exact turning point, and I can't think of it. It's like those days where you you just don't want to live like this anymore. Actually, there was probably no turning point in terms of social media, but there was something when I was just writing my book, almost near the end, and my mum had passed away, and I was there in Prince Charles Hospital with her. The night it was just me and her. I was holding her hand when she passed, and that was a really awesome night for me. Like in terms of, I felt so proud that I got to spend the last moments with her, and but it just made me think. She was in her late 70s, and next thing you know, I'm going to another funeral. All of her friends, all the people that we'd grown up with, it was like we're going to a new funeral every second week.
Mm.
And like these were people that I'd known for my whole life, and they're all in their 70s. And I started thinking, I've got 20-something years to go. Wow. 20 years goes pretty quick. Like, just have a look at the last 20.
That's right.
And I went, I've been stuck in the mud thinking, poor me, why me, all this sort of shit. And I've hated every minute of it. Do I want to spend the next 20 years doing that? And I went, fuck no. I want the next 25 years to be the best 25 years of my life. And I'm making sure it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. It's like Marshall Mathers says, mate, you got one shot, one opportunity.
Taking it back to kombucha.
That's when you were saying that. I was
Oh, the
like,
Slim Shady.
I'm going to rip that one out. It's fucking God. Sometimes I impress myself,
Yeah.
but man, I can't wait to be honest. I'll end up giving that one a read when you're done. I don't read many books, man, but.
The rules are, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, you can't pass them around.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You got to buy
You
them.
got to buy it. All right, I'll buy it.
I'm
There's no point buying it off. There's no point buying it off you.
joking.
No way, mate.
It's all
You
right,
you
mate.
make that money, mate.
Hey, I owe you some money, so I'll buy you.
Okay. All right, sweet. But yeah, man, far out. What a
I've had so many blokes say to me, I'm crying at one page, and then 2 pages later, I'm crying with laughter.
yeah.
The ups, the downs, and all that sort of shit. I'm trying to make it, very humorous.
Yeah.
It's good to approach some things that are serious with humor.
Yeah, and that's how we deal with shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, I think that's a good approach.
Yeah.
You be
So,
sincere when you need to be, but
where can people buy it?
So, see my name at the front, Todd Maguire. I've got a
Maguire.
website,
Yep.
which is www.toddmaguire,
Yep.
all one word.
who you?
Me, yeah. Who, me?
Who you?
This bloke here.
And we'll share that. We'll share that.
.com.au,
yeah,
yeah.
We'll share that in the comments
And,
or in the descriptions and stuff like that.
So I get them all at home. I sign the inside, and
So
I think did I do that?
Yeah,
personally-
absolutely.
Yeah.
You did.
personally,
so I do a personal-
personally signed to
Yeah.
whoever buys it.
Yep,
Check
and then
it
I
out.
put it in the mail, and
Yeah,
bang,
there we
you got
go.
one.
That's pretty. That's a pretty awesome touch.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
To
Yeah.
have it personally signed.
Yeah.
By the man
If you,
himself.
I don't know if you got any listeners outside of Australia, but if you do, they're you can get it out from Amazon and all of those sort of.
I'm pretty sure.
Do
we've got
do we have any
listeners
outside of Australia?
outside of Australia?
3 or 4?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there you go, guys. Donny and
stay
Undercover.
tuned. There
Yep.
could be.
Oh, I
A
like
movie
this
on the
one.
way.
Hey,
Ooh.
yeah, you can give us the inside scoop before.
Underbelly.
Oh, no.
Underbelly. Series.
Could
Yeah.
be better.
It's-
Never know.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, guys. So, guys, lock in. Get on his website. Buy the book.
Have a read.
Have a read. See what it's all about. I'm definitely going to finish this one. There's not many books that I do read. But, yeah, this one I'm definitely
Yeah,
going to.
I'm keen.
Yeah.
I'm going to do an audio book very soon as well too.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh, read
That
by
was-
yourself?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah.
There was actually going to be another question. Is there an audio book on Spotify or
Not yet,
somewhere?
but I've got a studio lined up, and I just got to find
Lovely.
a couple of days to
Knock
belt
it out.
I mate, recorded here.
yeah,
It's recorded here. Start now.
yeah, with your bloody neighbour with a noisy 4-wheel drive in the background.
They won't hear it, mate. They
Yeah.
won't hear it.
No, awesome, man. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on, mate.
Thank you.
And just for the listeners out there, always, if there's anything in this episode that triggered any kind of emotions or brought anything to the surface, do reach out to those who are close to you. Reach out to Lifeline, Beyond Blue. Those sorts of places can help you out. And if you really do need some help, reach out to your GP. They can help you out too. And yeah, man. Been a pleasure, mate.
Thank you very much.
It's been
Thank
a
you so much
pleasure.
for coming on, man.
I'm
Really,
here, I'm
really.
here to normalise it, and
Yeah.
don't ever be ashamed of
Nah.
not feeling right. You know.
Well, it's definitely what this platform's for.
That's
Yeah,
it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Awareness.
awareness, man.
Awareness.
So thanks so much,
Yeah,
man.
appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Real talk. We're putting it all on the table. You know what to do.